Hey traders, welcome back to another video. So this video I initially thought just want to post it inside our The 1%ers Trade Club as our weekly lesson, weekly education. But after some consideration I thought, hey, why not just make it public and just to show all of you what majority of you are actually doing that makes you so inconsistent, that makes you just keep losing money, keep struggling, keep being frustrated. Alright, so if you look at a screenshot here, you can actually see this is actually a performance of a trader. I won't call the name, but yeah, one of the traders actually showed me the performance, and I want all of you to immediately try to read this and say, hey, what's the problem here? Alright, you know, every single new members, new students that approach me, I always tell them, hey, send me a broker statement, send me a journal. The easiest way to know if someone is doing the right thing is to actually look at the P&L. And I don't even have to go through the risk reward. Just look at the P&L column. See whether it's steadily declining, or if it's having massive dip, or if it's having some massive incline. Alright. So if you look at this one, first thing is look at the balance, right? Steadily going down. 49.5k, 49k, 48.7, 48.6, 48.3, 47.5 means what? He's doing the exact opposite of what he should be doing. That's the first problem. You can somehow say it's consistent as in the performance, the equity is actually steadily going down, but in one way that's just no system. There's just no system at all. Second thing is look at the pairs that he trade, because I always promote one big rule, which is do not have over 2 attempts on any specific trade idea to avoid you being too biased or being just sucked into a specific trade idea. I'll give you one quick lesson for all of you. I have a principles or rules called the power of 2 attempts. Alright, this is something that I teach my students as well. The power of 2 attempts basically mean for whatever trade idea you have, whatever thesis, whatever setups that you see, I don't care if it is high quality or low quality, do not be wrong more than twice. Why? Because when you're wrong once, it's okay. Because sometimes when you take a good setup, you will still end up losing money. It is fine because it's part of the probability sequences is the game. But if you allow yourself to lose more than twice, which means you take a short, for example, on gold, you short at $1, you get stopped at 150, you re-short again at 150, you get stopped out at $2. And after getting stopped out on the second time, if you're still blindly pressing hard onto the same bias, same direction, you're not trading, you're gambling. You are actually entering a gambling mode. And the power of 2 attempts basically just stops you from doing stupid things. Just do things that you'll regret later on. All of you know when you do mistakes like that, when you overtrade, over risk, when you revenge trade, it will only lead to one outcome, which is regrets. Ask yourself, if you're watching this video, how many times have you made mistakes that you know you're not supposed to make, that you promised to yourself that you shouldn't be doing this, but you still do it anyway? And at the end of the day, when everything calms down, when you realize, hey, I've done way too much damage, and that's when you really sit down and startle and say, hey, what have I done? What have I done? So to avoid regrets, to avoid these painful moments, you need to first learn how to have a self-control. And that's why that's where the power of 2 attempts actually came in. This is a powerful principle, rules that just stops you from doing stupid things, stops you from just blindly blowing your money onto one bias, onto one egoistic kind of trade idea. Alright, see here, Aussie yen short, Aussie yen long, Aussie yen long, Aussie yen long, Aussie yen long. So what's the problem here? He was gambling on this pair. Alright, you're not supposed to add on multiple positions when you're proven wrong. A quick tips is the only times you can scale into a position is when market proves you correct. That's what we call trading with the evidence. When the market is proving you wrong, let's say today you short at $1. If price goes to 120, why are you still shorting? Why do you add into the position? Because market is literally telling you that you're wrong. You shouldn't be adding into it. You can only add into a position if, let's say, you short at $1, it drops to 80 cents. You add on more size because this market is proving you correct. You are being rewarded for being correct on this one trade. Then you should be adding into it. All right. Do not add into loser. This is a simple yet important thing. All right. If you don't know how to control and refrain yourself from gambling into a wrong trade idea, when the market has already proved you wrong, you still blindly add into it, then no matter how much money you make in the market, you still lose all of them. Being a good trader is about protecting the profits. When you make some money, you keep it. You only take a small portion. Say, hey, this small portion is sort of like a cushion for me to lose some trade, right? Because every single trade, every single reward comes with a risk. No risk, no reward. All right. Let's say you today you make $5,000. Your job is to make sure, hey, out of this 5,000, I just want to make sure that I protect it as much as possible, and small amount of that, maybe 1,500 or 2,000, will be used as bullets, as just as a risk to potentially leverage on the next winning trade. That's what most of the good traders think like. They don't think as in, oh, I make $5,000, how can I risk more to make more? No, we don't do that. All right, you make sure you protect it first, then you think about how can I keep the downside very managed and potentially have a much bigger upside. So that's the second thing. First thing is he doesn't have an actual system. Second thing is he blindly scaled into a wrong trade idea, and this is so much damage. And another thing is, if you look at here, is this one is what I see. Every time when you take a loss, he'll double the amount. You see, double damage. He shorted gold once, shorted twice again, both got stopped out. And just unhealthy. I want all of you to actually study this and sort of reflect if you're doing the same thing or not. We're not here to say, oh, this trader is performing poorly. I just want to let all of you know, being a good trader is all about knowing what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, or even stop trading. All right. And not sure if I can sort of draw it for all of you. I'll just tell all of you the power of risk control and the power of managing a drawdown. If today this trader, put on this one, learns how to properly manage his emotion, properly manage his re-entry criteria, and utilize the power of 1 or 2 attempts, you know how many losses he could have been avoided. Because you see, the account started on 50k, and all of you probably know it's a challenge account. All right, start on 50k, and right now the account is sitting at 94.5, and this trader actually caught a winning trade, because I call it inside the community, every single thing here was positions that he took himself. Because every single day, not every single day, I mean, whenever I have any position, I'll call it within the 1% trade club. So this trader actually take trades on his own, which is good, right? It's good to have your own thesis. It's good to have your own trade idea. It's good to have your own game plan. But the thing is, you just need to know what you're doing. All right. Out of all of this, is if we ignore this winning trade that I call inside the trade club on 15th of August, how many losses he could have prevented? Just let me show all of you. Aussie yen took a short, no more re-entry, no more buys, because those were actually unnecessary. Took a loss on Aussie yen is fine. Took a loss on pound yen is okay. Took a loss on gold is fine, but no re-entry, no scaling onto a losing trade idea. All right. Took a loss on dollar Swiss is fine. So even if you perform poorly, the max you lose here is only -4%. But if this trader 1 second. Right? If this trader actually, I don't know exactly what happened, but if this trader learns how to sort of just manage himself, he could have had what, negative 4% here, and this pound dollar long, let's say, is a 2% winning trade, because I personally is about 2R profits, then it will only set him in what here, positive 2%. Then his overall net performance will only be negative 2%. Negative 4% plus 2%, he's only down 2%. But look at his performance right now, 94.551%, which means he's down about 5.5 from what he's supposed to from the supposed performance, which is negative 2%, to right now he's sitting at negative 5.5%. That's extra. That is actually extra 3.5% of unnecessary loss, and that itself is telling all of you the power of risk control. I want all of you, if you're watching this video, go back, study your statement, review your trade, journal them, and really to ask yourself, hey, out of all of these losses, which one of them could have been avoided if I have a proper risk control, if I have certain rules to guide me to not do stupid and dumb things. Once you learn how to really go deep into your statement, go deep into your journal and review them, then you know actually consistency or profitable trading is not that difficult. The main reason why it's difficult is because you just don't know what you're doing. For all of you watching this video, right, make sure you do your journal, you review them. Also, most importantly, ask yourself, how can I optimize my performance? Which one of the setups is not making me money? What kind of market conditions should I perhaps not to trade? What kind of market conditions should I press harder? Like, what's your strength? What's your weaknesses? Once you really ask yourself all of these questions, you become like a proper entrepreneur, a proper businessman, because cutting off these unnecessary losses is just like being a business person, and your mind is, how can I cut cost? Same thing. So all of you, again, I hope all of you learned something new. Alright, if you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.